Happy 2024. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and whether you are new or you are back, I am so glad that you're here today. This is my weekly WIP and Chat, and if you are new, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat just means chat. So feel free to pull out a project and work alongside me today. I'm actually going to be kitting up my first project of the year with you this evening, and so I guess technically this is a kit up and chat, and I'm really looking forward to just sitting down with you this evening or this morning, whatever time you're watching, to catch up a little bit. These are videos I try to put up every week on Monday mornings, and it's just, it's been a staple of my channel for a while. It's certainly not going to change in 2024, as far as I can tell. It's a really fun way to get to touch base and talk about what's been going on as far as like my crafting and life and whatnot. So let me tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be kicking off the year with. 2024. Now, this first kit of the year is not only a fun milestone or kind of kit to work on because it's the first kit of the year, but also because this kit is actually going to be my 150th kit that I have completed in my time diamond painting. So when I hit various milestones, sometimes I like to make that kit like, I'm sorry, I'm about to yawn. I'm a little sleepy apparently. Sometimes I like to just make that be a really meaningful kit. It's like, oh, let me pull something out of my rainy day stash or just work on something that is really special. And the last time I did that was when I hit my 100th milestone. Actually, I'm going to work while I talk with you and then I'll explain. But the last time I did this was when I worked on my 100th finish, and for that kit I had chosen to work on a discontinued kit from Diamond Art Club called Daughter of the Sea King, and it was fan art of a big IP that was by Mandy Manzano and that Diamond Art Club used to carry but no longer does. But that kit, I just really loved it a lot. So, and then I didn't do one for 125. In retrospect, I should do like every 25 kits so that I don't have to wait as long in between to celebrate, but I forgot. So here we are at 150, and we're gonna make this a good one. So the kit that I decided ultimately to work on is called Lune, and this is from DIYMoon Shop, a shop that has since shut down. They shut down last year as of the time of this filming. I giggle because I'm like, oh, it's funny to be like last year when it's just a day ago. I'm not laughing that a shop shut down. I'm actually really sad about it. But Cherriuki is now licensed with Jada Gem Shop, but I had bought this kit in 2020, and I think that this was really one of my very first rainy day kits. And like I said, I really want to work while I do this. I have a lot I want to talk to you about this kit, but I don't want to waste time. But really quickly, before I talk more about that, with these old DIYMoon Shop kits, there's no legend on the canvas itself at all. They only sent you this detached legend or like a walking legend. It's printed on like a canvas material. Since this is the only existing legend, I'm planning to put it in my logbook on the back side of the page where this entry will go. I don't want to cut that up and use it for my label, so I just scanned and made a copy of it on regular computer paper, and then I'm running it through this Xyron sticker maker, which I bought for like 10 or 15 US dollars back in 2020, shortly after starting diamond painting, and it's really inexpensive. It's the X150, I believe. I think that it still comes up for sale on the Amazon website. Sometimes it goes out of stock, but I dropped this earlier, and okay, let me make sure it's actually going in there. So you just feed it in. Just always try to make sure it stays straight enough. Okay, that was pretty good. Then you just, okay. And then now it's a sticker. So I'll try to see if that one is still for sale on Amazon or on like the Xyron website, and then you can pick one up for yourself if you want. But this way now I'm gonna have sticker labels for my storage containers, but I won't have used up the only legend that came with this kit. I mean, there's other ways you could do it. I could just take a picture of this legend and then I have it on my phone. because hello, digital forever. But I just would rather go about it this way. So now I have stickers. The backside will be sticky, so it's perfect. So that's ready to go. I'm gonna start pulling out diamonds in just a second. But yeah, so this kit was one of the very first kits that I ordered from this shop. And like I said, I think was maybe my very first rainy day kit. And that phrase, I feel like I explain it every time, and I'm afraid that maybe you'll be thinking, oh my gosh, Katie, give it a rest. We know what it is already. But you know what? I have a lot of new subscribers all the time, so I'm going to go ahead and mention it, explain it every time just because it doesn't hurt. But a rainy day kit is just sort of a phrase I came up with to refer to kits in my stash that have some sort of special meaning to me, and that it's like I just, maybe I want to, sorry for the, it has to be so loud, but I feel like I want to hold on to them for a little while in my stash until I feel like it's just the right time to work on them. It's kind of like, yeah, savoring them a little bit. I don't want to work on them right away because I just want to enjoy like having them. I don't know. It might be weird. I guess you either probably get it or you don't. But this kit, like I said, I feel like it was one of the first ones, and it's bittersweet to be pulling this out. When I was pulling out the canvas and the diamonds earlier, it just kind of made me go, it just makes me sad a little bit because I have lots of fond memories from the first time that I bought from DIYMoon Shop, and those early days. This is when they really, their whole approach to it was very different in my opinion. It was really like a boutique type experience. It felt extremely personalized, and I felt like I didn't have nearly the not that the canvases and the kits were perfect by any stretch, but the renderings were at least more my taste at the time. And I don't know, it was just a really unique experience. And I'm sad that things changed and they ended up not being able to stay in business. I know that just kind of is the reality of things sometimes, and all that. But yeah, just getting into one of these older kits from them just made me go, aw, I remember when this was kind of what it was like to get a kit from DIYMoon Shop. They would like wrap them and like literally in like wrapping paper. And they had these like fun, like special, they called them special treatment packs. Hold on just a second. Well, I'm just cover up my name. Not that my last name is out there. Like I'm in groups and stuff. But like you would get these special treatment packs, and you could choose like a different like level of special treatment pack. And you get them out, and it's just like they tell you on here where these go. And I don't know. It just felt like a different kind of experience. And maybe I am being hit hard by like the nostalgia bug. I'm very susceptible to that, to be fair. But I don't know. I'm just kind of like, aw. I don't know if maybe they just grew. I'm just completely speculating. I have no idea. But that just makes me appreciate and be really happy for the kits that I have in my stash, especially that are from like 2020, early on, when these were kits that I enjoyed the rendering of and felt like I liked personally how they turned out and whatnot. So, but this was the kit. I think shortly after I got it, I saw that my friend Randy, you can call me Butter, had also gotten it, and she worked on it right away. And I was like, oh, perfect. I get to enjoy it vicariously through her. Loved how it turned out. And I was immediately like, okay, I know I'm going to want to work on that one. But I think now it's like I've kind of gotten my fix seeing her work on it. And so now I can wait a little bit, and then I can work on mine later. And it's like, oh, I get to enjoy it all over again. So that was kind of my approach to this. These are in DMC order. I'm making sure that there aren't any weird stragglers that ended up in places. I'm just kind of grouping them as I pull them out. So yeah, this one's just a little 50 by 50 canvas, and I got it in round drills. Oh, yep, see right there, 823. Those are the 800s. Okay. Good to go. And I did get the special treatment pack with it, which I did kind of show you. So it's got 2 bags of these old gold. It's like a gold metallic drill that you can sprinkle on the moon I think when Randy did it, she like converted the whole moon into metallics. I'm not sure what I'll do. In electric, it's like sprinkle in the sky for the stars. And then there's these snow, which you can sprinkle in the white areas like her hair. But these ones are the magic ones, star gems. You can replace some of the stars in the kit, and these are actual star gems. And so this is just going to be a really magical kit. I'm excited to be working on it. And I just think it just felt like the right time. It felt like the right time. I had wanted to wait for a while before working on this kit because oops, I'm so sorry. I just hit the camera really hard. I know that the way that things ended with that shop closing were not smooth. And so I just felt like it would have been really tone deaf for me to work on one of these kits real quickly after that. But it seems like, you know, things are hopefully okay at this point. Okay, these didn't scan in like the best quality, but I'll keep that walking legend nearby in case I need to clarify what symbol I'm looking at. But yeah, there we go. So I guess I could have centered that instead of putting it off to the edge. This is the repositionable one, but I'm afraid if I try to, yeah, it's not really going to want to be repositionable. It's fine. It'll just be off center and bother me the whole time. But yeah, so here we are. Hi, by the way, how are you doing? Forgive me for not asking you sooner. How was your New Year's Eve? I hope you're enjoying your New Year's Day. It's currently New Year's Eve and I did not go anywhere. I almost went out with my husband, but then the timing just wasn't quite right to get like a sitter for our kids. So decided instead that I would just stay home, which the introvert in me is frankly pretty content with that anyway. And my youngest went to bed at his usual time, but then my oldest and I, we watched the East Coast, the ball drop. And we watched it on like YouTube Live. And drank some sparkling apple cider. And he loved it. It was great. And then he went to bed. And here I am. I'm going to finish filming this WIP and Chat shortly before midnight California time. But yeah, so I am, what was I going to say? It's fun to be looking at like kitting up my first kit of this year because I'm fresh off of filming my year in review video for 2023. And that had me going back and revisiting kits that I worked on from like 12 months ago, or nearly 12 months ago. And so it's like, oh, now I know that when I go to do my 2024 year in review here almost a year from now, that like this is the first kit that I will be showing you guys in that video. And so that's like, oh, that's fun. And I think this is a nice one to start off the year with and to have for number 150. Do you guys want to know what my runners up were for my 150th finish? It was a bunch of discontinued Mandy Manzano kits. There were a few different princess panels that were in there, and then also some of the couples, like the kit Something Sweet and the kit that had like two names, the Found Love in a Frosty Place and Fixer Uppers. It's the same kit of Anna and Kristoff. It had two different names at one point. Is this gonna fit in this one? I think so. Yeah, just barely. So it was those, and then I had a Darth Daddy was in the running. And then the princess panels. I think that those were my other choices. But I kind of just felt like, I don't know, like I said, the timing just really felt right for this one for me. And I hope that's enjoyable to work on. I really enjoyed getting to do my year in review video. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's been 2 weeks since we checked in. I'm just realizing, we have 2 weeks to catch up on. Because last week was my year in review video, went up on Christmas Day, and I loved that I got to come in and hang out with you guys in there. I was attempting to get all the timing right with cooking Christmas dinner for our family, and it was entertaining to me anyway. But it was really this like didn't get totally cleaned out. That's funny. it was fun to see so many of you turn out and chat with me and answer some of those like would you rathers and end of the year tag questions that Anthony from Single and Placing had come up with, which those are both still linked in that video. And if, or in the case of the would you rathers, just written out. So if there are any other creators watching that are interested in like doing a set of would you rather questions, just as, you know, part of a WIP and Chat or something, feel free to make use of those if you like. I know for me, sometimes when I do WIP and Chats and I feel like I don't have much to talk about that week, it's nice to have some tag questions or like a set of easy things to talk about just to fill some time. Man, I did not do a good job of cleaning out these storage containers when I was kitting down. I did a big kitting down yesterday. I had like 4 kits that I needed to clean out the storage for that I had just been waiting to film some reviews for, among other things. And so I sat down and like for an hour was kitting down, which for me at the moment looks like just dumping all the diamonds into Ziploc bags, like just giant Ziploc bags, a mix of diamonds, and until I attempt to figure out a way to environmentally consciously like dispose of them. It's the worst thing about this hobby, honestly, and I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. But so yeah, I cleared out like four sets of storage containers, but I'm like finding a couple of these containers that like a couple of drills and a dryer sheet left in them, and then the tray over here had some random like drills just like sprinkled in it. I'm like, what in the world? Anyway. So yeah, the premiere video was really fun. I missed most of my fellow creators' premieres themselves because we were really busy. I barely made it to my own. I barely made it to my own premiere, but I have every intention of going back and watching some of those replays because I know that a lot of work went into those, and I want to show my support and appreciation. I'm just making sure there's a bunch of that color. And I did on Thursday, I pulled out all of my kits, and it wasn't as hard to dig them all out of my garage as I was afraid it was going to be. They actually all ended up being in like just a couple of places, and it was fun, but a lot of work to kind of dig out those and prep for filming my year in review video. I ended up trying to do like a lot of the prep work ahead of time before I even started filming. So I had all my kits in order, and I had sat down and I'd written a few things out and referred to a spreadsheet that Kirby had put together for me, which was so sweet. Thank you, Kirby, if you're listening / watching. And was able to like refer to some stats and come up with some things to include in that video. And I felt like very relaxed going through that video. And past year in review videos, I felt, I don't know, like it sounds a little bit more frantic maybe, and this just felt very like, oh, we're just kicking back and going through these kits. But as I'm filming, I'm watching the timer on my camera and making sure I'm like, okay, I'm gonna really try not to go above 2 minutes per kit, because 43 kits at 2 minutes per kit is gonna be like it's gonna be well over an hour. So that was kind of the gauge that I used. It's like I wanted to do a little snapshot of each kit and give it a moment, but I also was like, are people gonna really sit here for an hour and 20 minutes? And yeah, no, a lot of people have. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. I love year in review videos. And this year I did approach it a little bit differently. In past years, I have been essentially cramming up until the last minute. Like literally it would be New Year's Eve. What I'm doing right now, like this time that I have right now, would be spent frantically trying to finish a diamond painting so that I had, I don't know, like I'd either like bitten off more that I could chew, or I just had set really lofty goals for myself about how many kits I wanted to complete. And it just would kind of feel like it was more of a frantic rush to the end of the year and hoping I was going to get stuff done. And I'm really, if I do say so myself, I am proud of myself for just going, you know what, let's just take a super relaxed approach to the end of the year. There's going to be plenty going on that is busy in real life. And the last thing that I need is to be feeling pressure to get diamond paintings done and do as much diamond painting as possible. It's like I want to feel free to just not diamond paint for most of the day and, you know, get other things done. And I'm so incredibly glad that I did. It was kind of it was a stressful holiday season, or an emotional holiday season in some ways, and so giving myself that space, I do think was the right call. I worked on a couple little snack size kits, and I finished the one a few days ago, and I thought, well, this is perfect. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and film my year in review early, a couple of days early. You know what? I'll have it go up a little bit early too, because why not? I'm always kind of speculating. A lot of people speculate over what the YouTube algorithm does, what it favors, things that you should do to help with the algorithm and stuff. And I was musing over, I was like, I wonder if YouTube pushes like those yearly review type videos more before New Year's Day or after New Year's Day. I don't know. My past years in review videos have gone up though, like January 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So I guess we'll see. But nice to take a relaxed approach to the end of the year. Just felt restful, I guess. And gave me the time to figure out like, okay, what do I want to work on next? I did though, even though, yes, I finished that last snack size kit, before, a few days before the end of the year. Don't think that I did zero diamond painting. No. I went ahead and did start working on the fourth panel of my cross stitch conversions. Would you guys like a peek? It is sitting right over here. Would you like a peek at it? Okay. I didn't get, it doesn't look like a lot, but, okay, so this is the fourth panel. So this is the right half of the second shelf down. And once I finish this panel, this conversion project will be halfway done, fully halfway done. So we have this big moon, and I am testing out working on it in 2 columns at a time instead of 1. I'm kind of seeing if that's gonna maybe work. After working on that Loki kit, the Loki conversion, I was like, what learnings can I take from this to maybe make my cross stitch conversion go a little more zippier. So we'll see, but I did work on that the past few days. So I also have just sort of taken time, like I think many of us do here at the end of the year, to go, okay, I'm reflecting. A lot of this month I've been reflecting. I feel like a few of the past WIP and Chats I've talked about that, like, oh, I'm pensive, looking back on the year. And it's, 2023 was an interesting year. It was an interesting year. There was a lot that happened, like both in terms of like the crafting world and personal life. There were a lot of things that were like really, really hard. There were a lot of challenges, but there were also some really amazing blessings as well. And, like in personal life, there was a lot of upheaval with job-related stuff, but we're ending the year in a wonderful space at the moment, and that's all that I focus on, is just being grateful for where we are at the moment. And in like crafting world, it's, I was looking at my year in review stats that YouTube sends you out at the end of November. And it tells you like, this is how many subscribers you gained this year and how many views your channel had. And I was just floored when I saw mine, because, I look at my analytics and numbers from time to time, but, that's a lie. I look at them somewhat regularly just to use as information, but I didn't ever look at it in the scope of 1 year. And in the past year, when YouTube said, from January 1st to November 30th, you gained over 10,000 subscribers, I was like, what? That was all this year? Holy cow. And it's like 1.5 million views. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And so that has just been, absorbing that. And I do want to say, like, dang, that's because of you guys. And thank you for your amazing support, especially when there's just been things that like some other like kind of just crazy things that have gone on too. This has certainly been a year where it's like there have been some challenges and ways that made me go, okay, yeah, I need to continue to take the high ground, and and that's the thing that I've always really tried to do whenever there's conflict or issues or things. And it's like, even when I have way more information about a situation and like my name is being dragged through the mud, it's like, you know, really the best thing and the most like focused thing and the best way to handle things really is just be confident in your own ethics and character and to take the high ground. But you guys, it is hard, and this year was incredibly hard with that. But I you know, it is what it is. And I feel like, honestly, time is always going to tell when it comes to people's character and their motives and all of that. And I just, you know, that's what I try to rest in. So I feel pretty confident in my character and my ethics. So that's what I just have to focus on. And that's staying focused. It's like, focus on the crafting and what brings you joy. Focus on making good content, and focus on like knowing that I am making the most conscientious and ethical decisions that I can. And that's the best you can do. So all that to say, though, I really appreciate like the ways that I feel like it has paid off, and that you guys, you know, are here, and that I get to keep doing what I do. So I also feel like, especially when I was kind of looking back at the year, realizing, and I talked about this, I think, on last week's WIP and Chat some, I was like, oh, some of the times when I really am willing to like take some risks and step outside of my comfort zone, make videos that are a little bit out of my norm, and yes, take a lot more time and work to do, often those are the ones that have like paid off so beautifully in the long run. And so I keep reminding myself of that. Like, for example, the diamond painting for beginners video that I had put up, that was a year and a half ago now, and was a ton of work. I did it all myself, but it was so much work, and I'm so proud of that video. And it was really cute. I noticed that around the holidays, that like the couple of days after, like Christmas and a couple of days after, the average like views, because YouTube gives you like views per 48 hours, the views on that like doubled over Christmas, and the several subsequent few days actually stayed high as well. And I'm like, aw, did a bunch of people get diamond paintings for Christmas? And they're like looking for beginner videos, because that's fantastic. And you know what? If you happen to be one of those people and like you found my WIP and Chat after searching for like beginner videos and stuff, would you let me know in the comments? Because that would be wonderful. That would be so fun to me. I would be delighted. In my personal life, this year was also important because in May is when I did finally pursue assessment and got an official like autism diagnosis. And I haven't talked about that really at length here on my channel at all, just to kind of bring it up in passing and stuff. And, you know, maybe that's something that I'll revisit again in more depth and just kind of talk about what that learning has been like and what the assessment process looked like, because I do feel like this craft very strongly attracts my fellow neurospicies, my neurodivergents, neurosparklies. I feel like this craft really attracts those types. So you're in good company if you suspect you are, if you self-diagnose, because that is valid as well in a lot of cases. But that has been, you know, just part of sort of this journey of self-discovery and trying to always be looking at ways I can be improving and how I can be like a better, you know, person, like better care of myself, be like a better mom and friend and a wife and all the things. So that was a big moment this year too. And then also just to generally be reminding myself that like there's always more that I can learn and try to do better. I never want to act like I've made it and now I don't have now I'm perfect. I don't have anything else to learn or do better. So that's something that just I've been reminded of this year as well. But as far as what my things are that I'm hoping for in the new year, I know especially here this first half of the year when I don't have really any, the first, not quite half, almost. Anyway, when I don't have any events that I'm hosting or any other kind of like major things happening, I know this is a really good time when I have the space and the margin to work on maybe some of those videos that are like stretching me outside of my usuals, outside my comfort zone. And so I have a couple of different ideas kind of rattling around, and I would like to maybe try to make some of those happen in the next few months, something in the new year. I want to hopefully get halfway done. I'd like to finish at least that panel on my cross-stitch conversion and maybe one more. And I just want to keep trying to do better at like caring for people and supporting people, and continuing to focus, especially when it comes to like what I'm putting out there videos wise, or what kits I'm deciding to work on, that I'm making sure that it is things that I genuinely do enjoy and that I'm not doing it for anyone else, because that's a quick shot to burnout. So yeah, obviously super pensive first half of this WIP and Chat. Good grief, we are 31 minutes in and I have been just slow musing my way through this apparently. Well, there we have it. I'd love to tell you a little bit about the holidays and what we were up to. So let me think. Okay, we have 2 weeks to catch up on. So it was kind of a little bit of a roller coaster, I suppose, leading up to Christmas itself. Yeah, my last real WIP and Chat was a week before Christmas. So obviously we made it. I made my to-do list, and that helped me, not forget things. But man, my mental health was on a little bit of a roller coaster the past few weeks. What that often means is that I turn into a social hermit. I don't really respond to messages very reliably. And, I'm not really connecting or reaching out with to my friends. And it's kind of like, I hunker down. I know some people probably do the opposite. Like when they're hurting or feeling like they're going through it, is then they crave connection and reach out to people. But that just has never really been my MO. I'm very I just want to hunker down and take care of it myself. And I recognized that was what was going on. A big part of it, and I did not talk about it in our WIP and Chat 2 weeks ago. In part because I hadn't told anyone besides my husband. I hadn't even told my mom. But I ended up on Monday 2 weeks ago, had a biopsy done of a spot on my back that my doctor and I didn't like the look of. We were pretty sure it was an abundance of caution, which let me go ahead and tell you, I got the results back. It's benign. So you're not worried. I'm not going to hold that over you and make you wait while I talk about, how I was feeling. But it was just, it had a couple of worrisome markers, and I had gone in for just a wellness checkup, and it was really on a whim that my doctor, it's the end of my appointment. My doctor was like, okay, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Anything else going on you want me to take a look at or add to your chart? And I had said, I don't know why it came to my mind, just out of the blue. I was like, there's this spot on my back that I've always kind of not really liked the look of. For over 10 years, honestly. And so she took a look at it and she said, should we call this an atypical something mole? She's like, if you're noticing any changes, let me know. She's like, if you want me to biopsy it, I can, like, just to be safe. She said, but she's like, if you're not noticing any changes, if it's just staying the same, she's like, it's, you don't have to do anything about it. And then I went home. So I didn't say it. I was like, oh, okay, well, it's fine then. I'll keep an eye on it. And then I went home and I kind of like got a look at it in the mirror and had Adam take a look at it. And I was like, I think this may have changed. I think this might look different. And so then I thought, let me call my doctor after and be like, look, can we do this after all? And she's like, absolutely. And scheduled me for Monday, 2 weeks ago. And at first I was so stressed about it and anxious about it that I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone except Adam. Like, I'm literally not telling anyone, not my closest friends, not my mom, anyone, because then it makes it more real in my head. And I didn't want to like take on anyone else's worry about it. I didn't want to have to manage anyone else's emotions surrounding that. And so I just decided not to talk about it. I was freaked out about the procedure itself, like just conceptually. And so I asked Adam, like, can you go with me? Like, can you make sure you don't have any work meetings? Like, can you just go with me and be moral support? I was like, yeah, of course. So he did. It all went completely smoothly. My doctor did great. She's wonderful. And then this was the Monday before Christmas though. And she said, okay, so typically these take 1 to 2 weeks. She said, I would normally say that I really think we'd hear by the end of this week. She said, but with the holidays, we just don't know. And as you can guess, I did not hear before the end of the week. I was really bummed when it got to Friday, and I even called to check, and it was, they're like, really sorry. We haven't heard anything from the lab, and we can't, like, there's nothing we can really do to rush it at this point. It's probably just because of the holidays. So it's like, crap. Like, I really would have loved to have that off of my brain for Christmas. But, I don't know. I guess Christmas was a good distraction. Then the day after Christmas, I went in to get the stitches taken out, and they still didn't have the results that morning. Then I got a message at the end of the day that they had come in and like, they're benign. Okay, awesome. It's benign, and then I was able to breathe easier. But my mental health just, like, the every day that went by without getting the results back, I felt like my brain just went into a lower and lower place, and I was just, I don't know, I was really struggling. And then there was some major stress surrounding the holidays, as well, like with some family stuff and just all of the like prep, all the stuff that needed done. I felt very overwhelmed, and it was hard, like, not to spiral. And I was like, I wish that I were already in a place where I'd figured out like my anxiety medication and we're totally level, but I'm still in those like kind of earlier stages with it. So it's just, we weren't quite there, which again, what can you do? That just, we weren't, and that's what we were dealing with. But ultimately, I will say I am feeling in a much better and more level place now. But especially the week leading up to Christmas was rough. And I did not feel like I was in a really good space. And yeah, so there were other things that came up. Like, we found out that like Micah's teacher is like not coming back after the fall break, and it was really like unexpected. So like that was kind of emotional and weird too. So yeah, just a lot. And then I was sad that we weren't flying back to Ohio. I mean, it's all just a recipe for not being in the best like mental place, but we are through it. And honestly, Christmas morning, we had at home, just the 4 of us, and it was really, really nice. It was very relaxing, and the boys had the best time getting into their gifts, and I enjoyed making some dinner and like actually making kind of more of a Christmas meal and eating Christmas cookies to our heart's content. And that's probably gonna need the bigger one. It was great, you guys. It was really, really nice. So I'm thankful that we had a very low-key actual Christmas day at home. It was just what we needed. And then the kids had this past week off of school, and Adam actually had the whole week off of work too. just the office they were closed. The company was closed for the week. And so we ended up picking a day to go in search of snow, which was one of the only things that my oldest had been asking for, really kind of hounding us a little bit about. It's like, I want to see snow. He was mainly sad that we weren't flying back to Ohio because he wanted to play in the snow. I live in Southern California. We don't get snow where we live. I'm like in Orange County, like there's no snow here. But I had done some research and I was like, Big Bear Mountain, Arrowhead Lake, like these mountains are an hour, 2 hours from us. There's got to be something. And I, just sort of talking to friends and stuff, knew that there are areas where they blow in snow. Like you can go up and you can snowboard right now, even though there's not natural snow on the mountains just yet. And so I did a bunch of research. I was like, my kids, we don't want to do tubing. We don't want to do like winter sports. I was like, Connor, he said, I want to make a snow angel and I want to have a snowball fight. I was like, okay, so we just need a patch of snow. Okay. We just need a patch of snow. And so I had found a couple of places. One was definitely a lot cheaper than the other. So I was like, okay, this is going to be choice number one. And if you live in Southern California and you're curious, it was Snow Valley is the name of it. And it was like, well, for just the snow play area, you could not make reservations in advance. You had to just get there day of. But it was an option, and you'd have to pay to get in, to pay to park. I'm like, well, obviously, like we're going to be paying for all this. And I just have a feeling that we're going to drive all this way up there and the kids are going to play in the snow for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then they're going to be done. That was a little bit what happened, but it was a bit of an adventure and most of it in a good way. So it was like an hour and 45-minute drive there, but we left in the morning and we stopped at a McDonald's at the play place at the base of the mountain and got lunch. So we were all like freshly energized and fed and everything. And then we drove up the mountain and it was like 18 or 19 miles of just windy roads climbing the mountain. The views were spectacular. We had gone up to Big Bear on a trip with friends over 10 years ago. And we had done this drive, but we were in like the back seat of a van, like someone else was driving and it was in the dark. And so I had no appreciation for the views. I just had car sickness. I did the driving. I did not get car sick since I was driving, thankfully, on the way up. And the views were amazing, absolutely amazing. And we got up there and we go to pull into the parking lot and it's very crowded. And we pull up to the parking attendant and they said, what are you here for today? And we said, oh, just snow play. And they said, okay, unfortunately, you're gonna have to go wait in that mass of people over there. Long lines. Okay, we can do that. We'll make it work. And it was crawling. The line of people was crawling. My kids were starting to get stir crazy. I'm thinking, are we gonna have to go to the backup location? Like, this is just crazy. And then someone came along and was like, is there anyone here that's just doing like the snow play area, not tubing or skiing or snowboarding? And we were like, yes, that's us. And we were thinking, oh great, we're gonna be able to skip this line. And it was like, oh no, if you have cash, you can skip this line. And I didn't know that this was going to be an option either. Adam and I were able to scrounge up enough cash between the two of us, because who carries cash anymore, really? We had enough cash between the two of us for 3 of us to go in. So we decided, okay, I'm going to take the kids in. Adam is going to continue to wait in this line, and he'll just pay when he gets through it, and then he'll come in and join us. Kids and I were in there for half an hour, and Adam was still pretty far back in the line, and I could tell, I'm like, yeah, no, the kids they're going to be done soon. We had tried to make him throw some snowballs, which was really hard to do because it was packed in the snow play area, and the snow was really packed down because there were tons of people playing in it, and that was not ideal for either snow angels or snowballs, which was unfortunate, but we made it work. We still made it work. But we hadn't brought any, and this was just a really silly oversight on my part, we hadn't brought any like snow toys. I thought, oh, we're just going to go play in the snow. I should have known better. Like, I grew up in Ohio. I lived in Ohio for 20 years. Like, I should have known better, but I just, I haven't had kids in the snow yet, so I don't, But they were having fun. But I'm realizing, I'm like, they're going to be done. Adam's not even like close to the front of this crazy line yet. I ended up texting him and I was like, do you, like, if you're okay with it, like, I don't want you to miss out on getting to like see the kids playing in the snow and stuff. I said, but I think they're going to be done soon. Like, do you want to save $20? And like, you can just go chill in the car and I'll take lots of pictures and video, which I'd already been doing. And he's like, yeah, let's just do that. So he ended up just going back to the car, and yeah, we were done about 15 or 20 minutes later, and the kids were so happy. Connor, I kept asking Connor, I was like, is there anything else you want to do? Are you happy? He's like, oh no, this is the perfect snow day. It was everything I wanted. And I was like, perfect. Mom win, check. He asked for snow, and we got to do like a really fun family day and adventure. Adam and I really enjoyed just talking on the drive up, and it just felt like a really perfect family day. The drive back down the mountain, which I'm just cracking up that we basically spent nearly 2 hours in the car each way to play in the snow for 45 minutes to an hour. But we knew that was probably how it was going to go, and it was completely fine with that. Way back down the mountain, we all got kind of car sick. I don't know what it was about going like down instead of up, but we got to the base of the mountain. We're like, let's pull over at like a Starbucks and like get out of the car and get some fresh air and stretch our legs. Connor's like lips had lost all their color, and he was like, I don't know how I'm feeling. I was like, okay, yeah, let's all get out of the car and take a little breather here. And so we did, and then we made our way home, and we were home around a little after dinner time. So it was a wonderful day. I'm really glad that we did that. I feel like there were just a lot of things that we got to do this year that was just family stuff that we haven't really made happen in past years. And so I feel really good about how we spent our time. And yeah, it was good, you guys. I'm looking at, it's New Year's Eve right now, like I said, and I'm looking at my Christmas tree. I'm kind of giving it a side eye because I'm like, yeah, my holiday spirit ends by New Year's. When do you guys take down your tree or your decorations, or depending on, what you celebrate? When are you like, okay, it's time for it to be done, time for it to come down? And yeah, historically, it's always by New Year's. I'm really over it. And I don't know, like maybe I'll take the ornaments down tonight after I finish filming this. Maybe I'll take the ornaments off, and then tomorrow Adam can help me actually like take the tree apart and pack it back away. I think that's what we'll do. I don't necessarily want to donate the tree just yet because we are planning to get, I think, a new tree next year. We have an artificial tree. But I just am like, but what if circumstances are different and like we can't afford one for some reason? I just like, I don't think I want to get rid of this tree until like we actually buy a replacement next year. I know we could go out, maybe I'll like poke around and see if there are any on clearance that are, good. At this rate, I'm probably way too late though. I don't know. I'll have to look early in the season next year. But yeah, I think we'll hold on to this one just in case. But yeah, I'm ready to. I didn't really do a lot of other Christmas decorating, so it's not like there's a lot to take down. But I am ready to sort of put Christmas away and sort of reset on the decor, get the house back to normal. We still have some Christmas cookies though. Those we try to stretch out a bit, just both for the sake of enjoying them for longer, and also to just like not give the kids and ourselves a sugar high. As far as what I have been watching and reading and listening to, this has been another week of like nothing sounds good, honestly. I have been struggling to find things to put on while I'm diamond painting. And I feel like that's one of the reasons I honestly haven't even been necessarily diamond painting as much, just because I keep going, what about this? Put this on. Nah. What about listening to this? Meh. Just none of it is like ticking the boxes. And I did have an appointment with my with my psychiatrist and my therapist this past week. The psychiatrist doing like a med check-in. therapist, it's just weekly therapy. And in, you know, both cases I mentioned, I'm like, yeah, I have like that really classic like depression symptom of like things that used to bring me joy just aren't. Like diamond painting still brings me joy, but like nothing that I want to like read or watch or listen to. Like the things that are really obvious go-tos for me, it's like nothing's doing it for me. We did, kind of at my request, we are trying increasing my medication because I was on a starter dose for like basically month and a half. And I just finally said, I was like, I think I would like to try increasing this to see to more like the standard dose. And so I'm in that adjustment period now. So far, headache and migraine free. I am beyond grateful for that. And continually looking back at when my migraines were spiking a couple of years ago and realizing like, oh my gosh, it's because of like my body just doesn't handle SSRIs well at all. So, so thankful that we moved away from those and seem to have found something that just works with my, body chemistry, brain chemistry. But yeah, as far as like what I was watching, I rewatched Good Omens season 2 in like a day, and that captured my interest. And because I was kind of still like riding the excitement of like, oh, they announced season 3, so I finally decided to rewatch season 2. I am thinking of watching the new Percy Jackson series. I read the books when they came out, at least the first few, but I think was I in middle school or high school when they came out? And at least at the time, I remembered it felt like they read just a little bit young to me, or I don't know, they just weren't quite my genre at the time. But I know tons of people are huge fans of these books, and so I've heard good things about the new series actually. So I'm considering watching that. But otherwise, yeah, it's just nothing is really ticking the boxes for me. I'm so tired of using that phrase already. Ticking the boxes. So I don't know. As far as what I've been reading. Yeah, I haven't even managed to like get back to, I haven't read Iron Flame yet. Like I just haven't felt like it. And it's what it is. I was also hoping to maybe do a Crescent City reread before the third one comes out. And I just don't know that I'm going to get around to that reread before that happens. But I don't know. I'm cracking up though because I had put the A Court of Thorns and Roses series on my Amazon wish list. The one that I had like sent to, it's kind of what my family does. We just make Amazon wish lists to give each other ideas and send those. And so I had sent my younger brother, mine, and he had sent me a text that was like, wow, you got like spicy adult books on your Christmas wish list that you're sending to family. I was like, excuse you. I said, ACOTAR is like, it's like a cultural touchstone at this point, especially for my age group. And I said, and really like it's light spice. Like it's not SMUT, like pure that. I was like, no, it would be fine if it were all fade to black. Like it's still a story. I was like, yeah, it's a romance. Like it's not that it's not a romance, but I was like, it's not trash. And he was amused. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like, oh, is this appropriate for me to be sending my family? But I wanted to be like, well, how did you know what it is then? But I just had thought it would be nice to own paperback copies or just a physical copy of some kind of those books because I just have them as audiobooks. But yeah, that's kind of that update. And then as far as what I am thinking for this week, I have 1 or 2 videos that I have already filmed that were some post reviews. Like I did a post review of my Loki cross stitch conversion. Every year I'm torn on this. I would love your feedback. Every year when I do my year in review video for the previous year, And then I also am like, but do I want to do a month in review as well? So you guys, if you are so inclined, let me know in the comments. Do you want to see a December month in a review video? Or are you just good with the year in review video? A month in review, I would spend more time on each of the kits as opposed to like the year in review where it's like 2 minutes max per kit. If you guys are interested in seeing a month in review, let me know. There will be some, I mean, there have been a lot of individual reviews on these kits. So I'm like, maybe we could go without it, but also maybe I need to look at my month in review playlist because I'm looking at that playlist and in past years I've done December month in reviews and it might bother me if like this is just the one year that it's missing. I like consistency, okay? But just, I don't know, as a viewer of my content, do you still want to see a month in review? I feel like I'm overdue for a small shop haul. I feel like I'm always overdue for a small shop haul. And I have a few kits over there that I need to unbox, including one from a company that it looks like has closed down again. Like they closed and then they reopened and then apparently they closed again, like as of today. And so I'm just like, do I unbox this kit? What do I even do with this? I'm not sure. I mean, it's licensed artwork, but I'm not sure what to do with that unboxing. I mean, maybe I will, and I'll just be like, well, this shop is closed, and it's a real small shop, so I don't know if you're gonna find this in D-stash groups, but here we go. The shop is Lake Creations de Clos, and I mean, I don't know anything about like the owner or anything. I mean, everything that I see in their Facebook group, it's in French, and it's always like translate to English, and so I don't know what I may be missing in terms of like tone or context. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on a second. So I have absolutely no idea what like really is going on. I just saw that from what Facebook Translate is telling me that they have closed their doors once again. So I'm not sure, but I have a kit from them that I will maybe or maybe not unbox. I don't know. And I have some others too that have been sitting, especially just waiting from the holiday season. So, yeah, we're gonna get back to kind of our regularly scheduled content now that we're moving out of the holidays and brainstorming, bringing you new things. Is this an S? Okay, so we have an S. I remember this being a thing early on, DIYMoon Shop. Where's that that canvas strip? Oops, I just dropped. Little plastic that's everywhere. Hold on a second. I'm trying to see how many of these are similar symbols that I would have to watch out for. Okay, so number 43, that is an S. So we have an S and a 5. And then is there an 8 and a B as well? Sometimes that's a thing. I'll have to keep an eye out for those. Anyway. Let's see, you guys. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, the last WIP and Chat that I filmed in 2023, that will be the first WIP and Chat of 2024. If you made it all the way to the end, how about some sort of celebratory emoji, whether it's confetti or the little party emoji or anything that just feels celebratory to you. There's like a fireworks emoji, just in honor of the new year. Let me know if you have any, I don't know, any sort of reflections on 2023 or any kind of goals in mind for the year ahead. I am just vamping here as I want to finish getting this up before I end this video. 2 more baggies, you guys. There's that. Let me know if you want to see a month in review video for December. And let me know when you take your tree down, because am I the only one that is over it by New Year's? But you guys, thank you for joining me for my weekly WIP and Chat. If you made it all the way to the end, also feel free to subscribe because you might like it here if you enjoyed listening to me chat with you for an hour. And you guys, we finished it up. Yeah. There's our colors. Oh, I'll fill that space, but lots of blues, lots of neutrals. Little walk down memory lane. Revisiting this kit that I ordered over 3 years ago. So anyway, you guys, I hope that you have a fantastic start to your 2024. And hope that this year has only amazing, bright, beautiful things in store for you. All right. Have a day and a week and a year that is as amazing as you are. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.